Hello everyone. Today we are going to see world's largest biometric identification system AADHAR. In this presentation, we are going to cover the points such as context of innovation, innovation concept, business and social value of the innovation concept, technology set used in the innovation, innovation development, innovation result, planned incremental improvements, and conclusion. First, we will discuss why India needs a common national identity platform such as UIDAI. India is a country of 1.2 billion population. Out of this population, 60% of population live under $2 a day according to the World Bank. Despite showing a robust GDP of nearly 7% per annum for last few decades, India is India is not able to uh, achieve the dream of inclusive growth. India is an interesting mix of demographic population and it is having nearly 60,000 villages, indicating that majority of the population is still living in rural areas, which are untouched by the economic growth. Due to this, most of the population, basically rural population, keeps on migrating in search of employment. As the Indian government wasn't able to disperse the fruits of economic development equally among its population, the economic growth is mostly centered in the urban areas, leaving the vast majority of population of 80% devoid of government services such as banking, etc. In the same society, just 3% of its population is paying its due income taxes, as the public sector services are grappled with corruption. The dream of democracy of inclusive growth cannot be realized unless the perks of the developments are shared equally with every section of society. To realize this dream, there are various well-intended government subsidy schemes. The government of India spends annually nearly 25 to 40 billion dollars on direct subsidy schemes such as public distribution scheme for food, national rural employment guarantee scheme, pension scheme, scholarship scheme, and so on. But most of these programs are plagued by the ghost identities, multiple identities, leading to massive leakages of 30 to 45% of government resources. One of the major reasons for this is the public service sector is corrupted, and whenever the intended beneficiary, poor, mostly poor in this case, tries to avail the benefits of these schemes, they are asked to provide the formal identity proofs, which they lack. There are several identity programs available, but the acceptability of them is limited, such as driver licenses and electoral cards. As the poor cannot identify them formally to the system, they are denied the access to the services, leaving with the choice of bribing the corrupt officials to get their legitimate shares. To curb the corruption and make some systemic reforms, the Government of India was trying to implement a national identity program for a long time. The aim was to equip the common of the country with the power of unique identity with which they can access the services intended for them without any hassle. So Government of India formally announced the UIDI Core Committee in 2009 and Mr. Nandan Nilekani was announced as the chairman of the UIDAI. This was the critical decision as it was Mr. Nandan Nilekani and his technocratic vision which made possible to deliver such a mammoth project successfully and well ahead of time. This was the period when the biometric was in the slope of enlightenment on the Gartner Hype Cycle 2010. UID's core committee selected multimodal biometric along with the minimal demographic data as a way to assign the unique identity to the resident after studying several existing biometric national identity programs such as US Visit Program. Biometric refers to the establishing identity based on physical and behavioral characteristics of an individual such as face, fingerprints, iris, voice, gait, and keystroke, etc. Biometric identification is done in two modes, enrollment and authentication. In biometric enrollment, UIDIA decided to capture the three biometric modalities such as face, fingerprints, and two irises. Biometric scanners equipped with specialized scanning devices captures the biometric characteristics of an individual and a quality check is done in order to ensure that the capture sample is noise-free. In order to facilitate matching, the input digital sample is further processed by feature extractor to generate a compact but expressive representation called a feature set, which is then stored as a template for the further comparison. This process is same for all the biometric modalities. Further, for multimodal biometrics, the extracted feature sets are fused together to get a combined vector for of the modalities and then stored as a template for the future comparison. This template is set to the National Repository for Biometrics and here it is compared or deduplicated against all the available templates in the system. If the match is found, then that means the person is already having a UIDAI number and it will be denied a new number. If the match is not found, a unique randomly generated 12-digit number is assigned to the person. This enrollment process is done once in a lifetime. Now authentication. During authentication, the person goes to the UIDI center and gives his biometrics in order to prove who he claims to be. While authentication, residents needs to provide only fingerprints and two irises. Once the samples are captured, they are processed for the feature extraction and noise reduction, and the combined feature vector is constructed. It is then sent to the UIDI authentication server for the verification. Here the template is again matched against all the available database templates and once the match is found, only yes is sent back in order to convey the claim to be valid. No personal information such as name is revealed during the authentication process, keeping the privacy of the resident intact. Now let's see how this process of authentication can help a poor farmer who is living in a remote area where there is no proper infrastructure development. If he wants to withdraw some money or save some money, usually he has to travel nearly 10 to 12 kilometers to reach the bank, which can take him a whole day owing to the fact that the public transportation facility is not that good in remote places. This is in turn means that a day's wage loss for a poor person like Ram. So if the UIDI enabled micropayments are made available to these people, it can help them tremendously. So Ram goes to a local business correspondent in his village who can be any person authorized to be a business correspondent. Let's say here it is a grocery shop owner. Ram wants to withdraw some money. He gives his biometrics along with UIDI number to the BC, who is having a handheld biometric sensing device. BC sends this information along with biometric information to BC's bank account. Bank making use of UIDI biometric identification platform can check the identity of Ram. Once the identity is authenticated through a UIDAI, a request is sent to Ram's bank. Upon the legitimate request of Ram's withdrawal, Ram's bank credits BC's bank account with the required transaction amount. At the same time, the Ram's bank sends a message for the same to Ram. BC then hands over the requested amount of money to Ram. Thus, Ram can now withdraw money whenever he wants without having to travel long distances and without losing day's wage. Aadhaar UIDR is a clear case of open source innovation as the knowledge required to build the platform was available openly. And it is a case of social innovation keeping in mind the social value it has created. UIDR team is trying to build a cashless, paperless digital infrastructure on the top of Aadhaar platform. It's planning to build open APIs so that any private public sector service providers can build an app around it and leverage its benefits. The UIDI enabled bridge called as ABP is one such app which can be directly linked to residents' bank account to deposit the benefits or any other service benefits. eKYC platform is built in keeping in mind know your customer legal bindings on service provider sector. This app makes authenticating the customer an easy process leading to time and cost savings. eSign offers platform to citizens for instant signing of their documents securely in a legal acceptable way. Unified payment interface facilitates the next generation online immediate payments, leveraging trends such as increasing smartphone adoption and application downloads. Any private or public sector firms can make use of the open API platforms to provide their services to people. Currently, Aadhaar is being implemented in various government sectors such as LPG schemes, PDS schemes, and which has generated a lot of social and financial values.